Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm here in Miami for the first time in Miami with Frank Smith. What could be better, Frank?
What, than being in Miami?
With you?
No, that bit, yeah, all right, and you. But being outside in Miami might be better.
Yeah, definitely.
In some sunshine.
Yeah. Well, there's the pool upstairs.
Yeah, true. But it's, I think there's better ways to see Miami. But on Saturday night, we get to head out to the Hard Rock.
Let's talk about then. Canelo versus Yildirim. Fantastic performance for Canelo against Callum Smith back in December. 10-week turnaround. He's back out again in February and on Saturday night, tomorrow night against Avni Yildirim. UK fight fans, we know him from fighting Chris Eubank in the World Boxing Super Series. Just talk to me about this fight itself.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people have their opinions on this fight. Obviously, Yildirim's WBC mandatory. The one thing I think you'll get with Yildirim is going to come out and try have a tear up. So, however long it lasts, he's coming out there to have it. Like we saw even in the Eubank fight, I know Eubank stopped him, but he came out there and he gave it his all. And I think he'll do the same here. He's a fighter. He's a proper, true fighter. And yeah, looking forward to it. As you say, great to have Canelo back out after just 10 weeks. Just shows how to, seriously he obviously takes the sport. But, December 19th, that show, on February 27th now. And it's great. Keeps the momentum going. Great for the sport to have one of the best fighters in the world regularly fighting.
I guess you're probably like most people here, you can't see nothing past the Canelo win here.
I also couldn't see Mauricio Lara beating Josh Warrington last week, so you can never say never. Yeah, sure, Canelo is a huge favourite, but that's boxing. That's why we love it, because there's always upsets. But I think if you ask me honestly, yes, I think Canelo wins.
There's a lot of talk at the beginning of the week here that Billy Joe Saunders will make the trip over, obviously with travel restrictions and stuff like that. He didn't make it, but there is still talk about people saying that Canelo gets past Yildirim. There's that May 8th fight in Vegas or Dallas or wherever it might be against Billy Joe Saunders. Now, obviously, you said yourself there that it's boxing, anything can happen with what we see Mauricio Lara, but all going well, I'm guessing the next path for Canelo is that Billy Joe Saunders fight. And Eddie Hearn told me if he wins, there's going to be an announcement. So, can we see Billy Joe Saunders in May 8th against Canelo?
Hopefully, that would be great, wouldn't it? May 8th, Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, unification. I think we'd all love that fight. So let's see what happens. Let's see what Eddie's got up his sleeve.
Tough ask for Billy. I mean, like he's one of our own. He's a UK fighter, but he's undefeated. He's shown that when he fights the better fighters, he steps his game up. We've seen that against Lemieux and Andy Lee and all these fighters. But Canelo he's in a different league here, isn't he? He's pound for pound for number one. Do you give Billy a small chance, or do you give Billy a chance against Canelo to win this fight?
Yeah, of course. I think you have to give him a chance. He's a world champion. See what he's done, 2-weight world champion. He truly believes he can go in there and get the win over Canelo. I'm sure Canelo thinks that about everyone he fights. So yeah, it's a real intriguing fight because he truly believes it. And when a fighter believes it, no one's to tell them they can't do it. So looking forward to that one because obviously Canelo showed his class against Callum Smith. I don't think he really put a foot wrong in that fight. But as you've said, Billy Joe, when he goes in there against the better opponents, and he really does step up his level. So I'm really looking forward to, hopefully, if we can get that one over the line, and that's what, like I say, Eddie's looking to announce. Hopefully, it's going to be a real intriguing one, and I think a massive fight for the fans.
Talking about a massive fight for the fans, it's Billy Joe. He likes to, would you call it a ruckus? He likes to say outlandish things. He likes to have a laugh and stuff like that. Do you think Canelo's faced anyone like Billy, not in just terms of the fighting style, but in terms of what he's going to bring when it comes to the press conferences and weigh-ins and whatnot? Do you think he's ever faced anyone like that?
I think they're different characters, but Floyd Mayweather was very boisterous and would come out and say things. So I think Canelo knows how to deal with people, though. Billy Joe, as you say, great character, will come out with some crackers in the build-up to this fight. But I truly believe, when you sit and speak to Billy Joe and talk to him about boxing and have a true conversation with him, he's brilliant. And I think, that's what we'll see in this fight, because I think it means a lot to him. It's his opportunity to become unified super middleweight champion of the world.
Definitely. Well, Canelo's hoping to fight 4 times this year. It's
brilliant.
So what I was going to ask you, Are we hoping that the Canelo sets the precedent or a new sort of phase for these champions, not to just fight twice or once a year, like back in the olden days with Sugar Ray Leonard, even going way back with Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson, that they fought like 4, 5, 6 times a year. Do you think we could, no, maybe not that much, but do you think we can see these champions at least fight 3, 4 times a year now?
Yeah, for sure. Normally you'd see someone of his level fighting 2, 3 times a year, but it's great that he wants to keep active. As I said, it keeps the sport and the momentum of the sport growing, which is what we need. We need to keep fighters active, keep them in the spotlight. And Canelo, as we see, he's a specimen of a human. He looks in great shape. He's constantly in the gym, and I think that's what has got him to where he is. So I think it's great to keep active. 5 fights. I think he's looking at a total of 5 fights between December to December.
Yeah,
so 3 by May 8th, then September, and another in December. So yeah, it'd be amazing.
Well, a fight that you're probably sick and tired of hearing about or talking about is obviously Joshua versus Fury. Now, we've got... No one asked yet?
No.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're going to get exclusive then. The exclusive from IFL TV with Frank Smith here. Joshua sent out a tweet saying that he's looking forward to becoming undisputed, and then a day later Tyson said that he doesn't think that the fight will be on in an interview, I think with Ring Magazine or ESPN. I can't quite remember what publication it was, but what's going on? Can we expect something soon, or at least a little bit of news about this fight in a positive way?
I think everyone's working towards making it happen. I think everyone's on the same page, and hopefully we will see something soon. But yeah, both guys definitely want that fight next. So I'm not going to say too much more, but that's the aim, I think, from all angles.
Tyson called him a chicken. Joshua's not a chicken, is he?
No. He's shown he'll get in there and fight anyone. He obviously lost against Ruiz, got straight back in there and won his belts back. That takes a much bigger man than a chicken.
I'll talk about it as well. I think it was yesterday morning, the purse bids for Teofimo Lopez and Cambosos. Top Rank put a bid in, Eddie Hearn put a bid in, and then Triller just out of the water, 2 million more than what was offered, between 2.5 million more. So just talk to me about that. Were you surprised at Triller coming in with that offer?
Look, I think it's great for the sport. It just shows that the sport is in a great place with new investment. Congrats to Triller. Great for the fighters as well. I said earlier, we're in such a dangerous sport for the fighters. They get in there and they risk their lives. They deserve every single penny they can get. So fair play to him. Fair play to Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos. They got what they deserve. And yeah, congrats to Triller. Like I say, great competition's great for the sport. And I think new people being involved in the sport, new brands who are going to help elevate and build boxing is brilliant. Rather than what do we want? No, I think competition is great because it stops you from getting complacent, but you need the right sort of competition who at the same time aren't just trying to put other businesses down, but are trying to grow the sport, because if the sport gets bigger, it's good for everyone involved.
We've seen with Triller with the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight, and then the Jake Paul and Nate Robinson fight, that they might be going down that sort of exhibition YouTuber thing, but now they've got the Teofimo Lopez and Cambosos fight. We've seen that model has worked, because we've seen it with DAZN. DAZN did that with the YouTube fights as well. So they're going down that same sort of business model than DAZN, aren't they?
Yeah, they're obviously looking at boxing as a sport as well, not just these one-off fights. And maybe at the start, a lot of people thought that was really their aim with it. But winning that purse bid and the amount they bid shows their intention to actually be involved in the sport. And as I say, great.
Right, Frank, I know you're not a controversial man, you don't really say much, but Bob Arum came out and said that if Eddie Hearn bids again with one of his fighters, then he's going to stick it up his ass. Quote. I don't know if that is an exact quote, but that's what I've read and that's what I've heard. It does sound like Bob a little bit, but what's your thoughts on that? Do you think it's an open market, surely, so Eddie Hearn is free to bid, but what are your thoughts on Bob Arum saying with these comments?
I can't really believe it, I can't believe the way he's acting about it all, because surely his job is to represent his fighter and do the best for his fighter, just like we would if someone had an opportunity that was going to pay him 2-3 times as much than they were going to get paid. You'd snap their hand up for the fighter. So who really cares what Bob Arum says, to be honest? It's fine when he gets his own way, but when he loses, we lost the purse bid as well, but we lost against someone who bid a lot more, and the fighter's going to get paid a lot more money. Fair play to him. he's just having a sulk because he couldn't win. You know, I think it's a very strange move because Teofimo Lopez, I can understand for a business if a fighter doesn't deliver. Like, it's like any business. There's only so long you can say, right, we'll keep paying them this much money. But Teofimo Lopez is a superstar, or a star who can become a superstar. He's a great talent, great talker. Why not invest in him rather than try and teach him a lesson? Because now, ultimately, Bob's been taught a lesson, not Teofimo Lopez.
That's true, yes. But I've got to ask as well, obviously, I think with Bob, he you know what he's like. He really doesn't give a shit anymore, and I'd say that with the utmost respect. He's been in the business long enough, and he knows how it works and stuff like that. But this isn't going to hinder the negotiations, because obviously we know that Eddie and Bob have their sort of relationship and stuff like that. But the fight that we all want to see is that Tyson Fury and Joshua fight. This little back and forth and this little being pissed off at each other ain't going to hinder that fight being made, is it?
It's not about us, is it? No. It's not about Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, anyone. It's not about our businesses. That's about Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. On the other hand, George Kambosos, Teofimo Lopez. Treat them as completely separate things. They've got to do their best for Tyson Fury. Their best is not going, I'm having a sulk because we lost the purse bid and Matchroom bid against us, so we're not doing the biggest fight in world boxing. That's ridiculous. So if that's the route they want to take, then you know, I don't think it's a very good move for the fighters in their stable, because they're just showing they don't actually give a shit about boxing or the fighters in their stable. All they care about is themselves.
Final word on this card here then, obviously Martinez has been ruled out with a hand injury. Can you elaborate any more on that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if you saw the hand. Obviously, it was quite bad shape. You know, real shame, because we've been trying to keep him active. Obviously, he missed out on the August show, boxed in October. He was supposed to box in December, now here. But you know, we're going to keep, as soon as he's fit and ready and able to, we're going to get him back out. And you know, we're trying to keep Williams Arroyo on the card as well. Just working on another fight currently. And then he's obviously his WBC mandatory for when he is fit and ready.
Well, Frank, as always, I do appreciate you doing this fight for TV. You're the best dressed man in boxing, I think, behind Eddie Hearn, eh? I said that about...
They're his old clothes.
Is it?
Yeah.
You don't fit in his clothes.
No, it's from when he was 11.
You've got the best hair anyway, I'll give you that.
Thank you, mate. I'm trying. I had one of yours once and it didn't really suit me, so...
You don't look... You did pull it off.
I didn't pull it off at all. Now I look like a bit of a surfer boy, so...
Hey, you pull it off, that's the main thing. Frank, as always, thanks for this fight for TV, and glad to be here in Miami.
Great to have you here. Thank you as always.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.